35. 1. To him who holds in his hands the great image of the invisible Tao, the whole world repairs. Men resort to him, and receive no hurt, but find rest, peace, and the feeling of ease. 2. Music and dainties will make the passing guest stop, for a time. But though the Tao as it comes from the mouth, seems insipid and has no flavor, though it seems not worth being looked at or listened to, the use of it is inexhaustible. 36. 1. When one is about to take an inspiration, he is sure to make a previous expiration. When he is going to weaken another, he will first strengthen him. When he is going to overthrow another, he will first have raised him up. When he is going to despoil another, he will first have made gifts to him. This is called hiding the light of his procedure. 2. The soft overcomes the hard, and the weak the strong. 3. Fishes should not be taken from the deep, instruments for the profit of the state should not be shown to the people. 37. 1. The Tao in its regular course does nothing, for the sake of doing it, and so there is nothing which it does not do. 2. If princes and kings were able to maintain it, all things would of themselves be transformed by them. 3. If this transformation became to me an object of desire, I would express the desire by the nameless simplicity. Simplicity without a name is free from all external aim. With no desire, at rest and still, all things go right as of their will. Part I. 38. 1. Those who possessed in highest degree the attributes of the Tao did not seek to show them, and therefore they possessed them in fullest measure. Those who possessed in a lower degree those attributes sought how not to lose them, and therefore they did not possess them in fullest measure. 2. Those who possessed in the highest degree those attributes did nothing with a purpose, and had no need to do anything. Those who possessed them in a lower degree were always doing, and had need to be so doing. 3. Those who possessed the highest benevolence were always seeking to carry it out, and had no need to be doing so. Those who possessed the highest righteousness were always seeking to carry it out, and had need to be so doing. 4. Those who possessed the highest sense of propriety were always seeking to show it, and when men did not respond to it, they bared the arm and marched up to them. 5. Thus it was that when the Tao was lost, its attributes appeared. When its attributes were lost, benevolence appeared. When benevolence was lost, righteousness appeared. And when righteousness was lost, the proprieties appeared. 6. Now propriety is the attenuated form of leal-heartedness and good faith, and is also the commencement of disorder. Swift apprehension is only a flower of the Tao, and is the beginning of stupidity. 7. Thus it is that the great man abides by what is solid, and eschews what is flimsy, dwells with the fruit and not with the flower. It is thus that he puts away the one and makes choice of the other. 39. 1. The things which from of old have got the one, the Tao, are heaven which by it is bright and pure, earth rendered thereby firm and sure, spirits with powers by it supplied, valleys kept full throughout their void, all creatures which through it do live, princes and kings who from it get the model which to all they give. All these are the results of the one, Tao. 2. If heaven were not thus pure, it soon would rend. If earth were not thus sure, 'twould break and bend. Without these powers, the spirits soon would fail. If not so filled, the drought would parch each vale. Without that life, creatures would pass away, princes and kings. Without that moral sway, however grand and high, would all decay. 3. Thus it is that dignity finds its firm root in its previous meanness, and what is lofty finds its stability in the lowness from which it rises. Hence princes and kings call themselves orphans, men of small virtue, and as carriages without a nave. Is not this an acknowledgment that in their considering themselves mean they see the foundation of their dignity? So it is that in the enumeration of the different parts of a carriage we do not come on what makes it answer the ends of a carriage. They do not wish to show themselves elegant-looking as jade, but prefer to be coarse-looking as an ordinary stone. 41. The movement of the Tao, by contraries, proceeds, and weakness marks the course of Tao's mighty deeds. 2. All things under heaven sprang from it as existing, and named, that existence sprang from it as non-existent, and not named. 41. 1. Scholars of the highest class, when they hear about the Tao, earnestly carry it into practice. Scholars of the middle class, when they have heard about it, seem now to keep it and now to lose it. Scholars of the lowest class, when they have heard about it, laugh greatly at it. If it were not thus laughed at, it would not be fit to be the Tao. 2. Therefore the sentence makers have thus expressed themselves. The Tao, when brightest seen, seems light to lack, who progress in it makes, seems drawing back, its even way is like a rugged track. Its highest virtue from the veil doth rise, its greatest beauty seems to offend the eyes, and he has most whose lot the least supplies. Its firmest virtue seems but poor and low, its solid truth seems change to undergo, its largest square doth yet no corner show a vessel great, it is the slowest made, loud is its sound, but never word it said, a semblance great, the shadow of a shade. 3. The Tao is hidden, and has no name, but it is the Tao which is skillful at imparting to all things what they need, and making them complete. 42. 1. The Tao produced one, one produced two, two produced three, three produced all things. All things leave behind them the obscurity, out of which they have come, and go forward to embrace the brightness, into which they have emerged, while they are harmonized by the breath of vacancy. 2. What men dislike is to be orphans, to have little virtue, to be as carriages without naves. And yet these are the designations which kings and princes use for themselves. So it is that some things are increased by being diminished, and others are diminished by being increased. 3. What other men thus teach, I also teach. The violent and strong do not die their natural death. I will make this the basis of my teaching. 43. 1. The softest thing in the world dashes against and overcomes the hardest, that which has no substantial existence enters where there is no crevice. I know hereby what advantage belongs to doing nothing, with a purpose. 2. There are few in the world who attain to the teaching without words, and the advantage arising from non-action. 44. 1. Or fame or life. Which do you hold more dear? Or life or wealth? To which would you adhere? Keep life and lose those other things. Keep them and lose your life: which brings sorrow and pain more near. 2. Thus we may see. Who cleaves to fame rejects what is more great. Who loves large stores gives up the richer state. 3. Who is content needs fear no shame. Who knows to stop incurs no blame. From danger free, long live shall he. 45. 1. Who thinks his great achievements poor shall find his vigor long endure. Of greatest fullness, deemed a void, exhaustion ne'er shall stem the tide. Do thou what's straight still crooked deem, thy greatest art still stupid seem, and eloquence a stammering scream. 2. Constant action overcomes cold, being still overcomes heat. Purity and stillness give the correct law to all under heaven. 46. 1. When the Tao prevails in the world, they send back their swift horses to draw the dung carts. When the Tao is disregarded in the world, the war horses breed in the borderlands. 2. There is no guilt greater than to sanction ambition, no calamity greater than to be discontented with one's lot, no fault greater than the wish to be getting. Therefore the sufficiency of contentment is an enduring and unchanging sufficiency,